9 minutes left.
I got everything under control.
I want to speak with my daughter.
Han was about to get his daughter back and you screwed it up.
I would like one of my people to help.
You speak English. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Have you ever watched a buddy cop flick that had you doubled over in laughter from start to finish? If you haven't seen the Rush Hour trilogy, you're seriously missing out. This classic movie, combined with Jackie Chan's martial arts mastery and Chris Tucker's lightning-fast wit, is a gut-busting good time. When Rush Hour hit theaters in 1998, it was an immediate smash hit that raked nearly $250 million at the global box office. The genius pairing of martial arts legend Jackie Chan and fast-talking comedian Chris Tucker strongly impressed audiences worldwide. Have you ever watched a movie where the lead actors had such amazing chemistry that it made the whole movie even more hilarious? That's exactly what happened with Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker in Rush Hour. The movie followed the misadventures of Lee, a highly skilled Hong Kong police detective played by Chan, who unwillingly teams up with Carter, a trash-talking reckless LAPD officer brought to life by Tucker. Their mission? To rescue the kidnapped daughter of the Chinese consul stationed at Los Angeles. But what made Rush Hour such an hilarious standout wasn't just its high stakes, action-packed premise of hunting down a violent crime lord. No, the real magic was the explosive chemistry between Chan and Tucker, and the endless comedic gold that emerged from the clash of their vastly different cultures and personalities. Just imagine, how funny would it be to see a proper, serious cop from Hong Kong try to work with a loud, reckless American cop? From the moment these polar opposite characters met, the non-stop loads of insult, cultural misunderstanding, and gut-busting jokes had audiences screaming with laughter. Speaking of cultural classes, one of the biggest sources of hilarity in Rush Hour was the way it mocked and poked fun of the divided between the American and Chinese culture personified by Carter and Lee. Who could forget that painfully awkward first meeting when Carter asked the newly arrived Lee in a cutting slow voice?
I'm Detective Carter. Do you speak any English? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
You understand the word that are coming out of my mouth? It was an immediately iconic quote that brilliantly set up the dynamic between the rude, loud-mouthed Carter and the polite, reserved Lee. And the language barrier jokes were just getting started. We got way too many laughs out of watching Carter butcher attempts at speaking Mandarin. Like when he unconsciously told a group of girls he wanted them to get naked and sacrifice a small goat. Lee's utterly baffled reaction to Carter's double talk was priceless. You could see the gears turning in his head, wondering how this man was a real police officer. Of course, Carter dishing out cringy-worthy Chinese stereotypes and mocking Lee's short height were also comedy gold mines in Rush Hour. One of the most laugh-out-loud lines came when Carter was lamenting being stuck with Lee, grumbling to himself, "The girls don't like you. Nobody likes you."
The girl don't like you. Nobody likes you.
Chris Tucker's delivery of that line was absolutely perfect. You could hear the childish frustration and irritability dripping from every word as Carter complained about having to work with the humorless Lee. It captured Carter's immature, insecure personality so well, lashing out with insults and putting others down to make himself feel better. Rush Hour wasn't just about the hilarious back-and-forth joke between Lee and Carter or the cultural misunderstandings. Nah, some of the funniest moments were the crazy physical comedy and slapstick scenes that let Jackie Chan show off his amazing martial arts skills. Remember that iconic pool hall scene where Carter ditches Lee, and Lee ends up in his massive brawl? Jackie Chan took out an entire room of bad guys using just pool cues, cue balls, and it's pure awesomeness. But the best part is after he finished kicking everyone's butt, the camera pans over this one dude just chilling and smoking a joint. And what does Lee do?
That's bad for you.
He walks up, takes the joint from the guy's mouth, and just deadpans. That's bad guy for you. The contrast between Lee's serious tone and the insane fight he just had is pure comic gold. Another laugh-out-loud moment is when Carter is investigating a lead and encounters this abnormally tall student who's like 8 feet tall. Chris Tucker's reaction is priceless. His jaw drops and his eyes go wide like a kid who just saw a real-life giant. And then he just stammers out, "Whoa, damn, I thought this was the bathroom." You can tell Tucker fully committed to the bit of being utterly terrified of this massive dude. It makes the already absurd situation even funnier. Then you had moments where the perfect comedic time of Chan and Tucker turned simple jokes into hilarious highlights. Like after Lee's epic fight with the villain Juntao and Juntao falls to his death, Carter just casually goes,
Ooh, you know he did.
Carter!
"Woo, you know he did," said in the most casual, unbothered way possible. It's just a Carter thing to say and perfectly sums up his overconfidence, zero-chill personality, just providing commentary nobody asked for. And Jackie Chan's little pause and look at Tucker at that moment sells the joke even more. These two had flawless chemistry and knew exactly how to elevate each other's comedic talents. Whether through well-choreographed slapstick or just nailing the delivery of a simple one-liner, their contrasting styles of subtle physical comedy and manic overreacting created magic. It wasn't just non-stop jokes and crazy physical comedy. Nah, the real heart of the movie was the unlikely friendship that blossomed between the uptight Lee and the wild Carter. Think about it, when those two first met, they couldn't stand each other. Carter was making fun of Lee's serious cop behavior, while Lee was getting annoyed to how casual and reckless Carter was. They were total opposites, constantly insulting and getting on each other's nerves. But as the movie went on, you started to see little glimpses of them bonding and becoming friends. Like that heartwarming scenes where they realized they both had dads who were police officers. Lee tells this ridiculous story about his dad being so tough that he caught a bullet and with his bare hands.
Daddy wants to arrest 15 people in one night by himself.
My daddy arrested 25 by himself.
My daddy saved 5 crackheads from a burning building by himself.
My daddy once caught a bullet with his bare hands.
Carter immediately calls him out on the BS tale, but in that moment, they're just two buddies cracking jokes and swapping exaggerated stories about their old man. You can see their prickly serious softening as they find some common ground. It's such a simple bonding moment, but it speaks volumes about how, despite being polar opposite from different worlds, there's a growing trust and brotherhood developing between them, even if they still keep up that macho, insult-slinging act on the surface. That's why the ending of Rush Hour, which sets up the sequel, is so brilliant and heartwarming. After taking down the bad guys, Lee invites Carter to come hang out with him in Hong Kong, promising to show his loud-mouthed American buddy his hood. Can you imagine how hilarious that premise is gonna be? The guy who spent the whole first movie as a clueless outsider in LA is now gonna be one out of his element in Hong Kong, while Lee plays tour guide through the chaos. The comedic potential of their misadventure together is endless. These former enemies now want to experience and understand more of each other's world. There is a perfect way to wrap up this hilarious first adventure while leaving you excited to see more of their buddy adventure in the upcoming possible sequels. You know there's gonna be plenty more insults, misunderstandings, and gut-busting laughter as their unlikely bromance continues to blossom. Rush Hour was really light years ahead of its time. A buddy action comedy that deftly balanced humor, hard-hitting stunts, and an engaging culture clash narrative that still feels fresh and funny today. From the very first interaction between Chan's straight-laced Hong Kong cop and Tucker's unfiltered smack-elect of an American detective, you know you're in for something entertaining. The movie is absolutely overflowing with iconic quotable lines that will have you and your friends cracking up for years to come. And thanks to the masterful physical comedy chops of martial arts legend Jackie Chan, Rush Hour gives a multiple laugh-out-loud slapstick set pieces that makes visual hilarity with jaw-dropping stunt horror. Chris Tucker's manic, trash-talking persona proved to be perfect comic to the relatively patient Chan too. But perhaps the most impressive feat Rush Hour pulled off was creating an odd couple duo you genuinely rooted for. Sure, Lee and Carter started off as a polar opposite who seemingly had nothing in common besides their career in law enforcement. Yet, over the course of their lively adventure, you saw real chemistry, trust, and friendship blossom between these two hilarious characters. Their bonding feels organic, not forced, a true bright spot in a sea of cringe-inducing body comedy cliches. So, if you're looking for an action-packed, side-slitting, hilarious good time, you owe it to yourself to experience the magic and pioneering greatness of Rush Hour. The laughs are plentiful, the fight choreography is incredible, and the mismatched central duo is unforgettable. It's a comedy classic of all age. Let us know your favorite Rush Hour quotes or unforgettable moment down in the comments. While you're down there, make sure to like and subscribe for more epic comedy breakdowns and hilarious video essays. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.